So you're thinking about moving to Belgrade, Montana? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to cover in this video. We're going to dive into my computer actually, and I'm going to show you around Google Maps and give you a really good feel for the area and what's close by and where the different neighborhoods are, how close to the airport, things like that. And stick around to the end because I am going to touch on one really important topic that people who haven't lived here before or aren't familiar with the area just might not think about. So let's get after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Southwest Montana, places like Belgrade, Montana, Bozeman, Three Forks, Ennis, and Livingston, then be sure to subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market here in Belgrade, Montana, and the surrounding areas here in Southwest Montana. My name is Hallie, and I get calls, texts, and emails every single day from people just like you looking to make their move here to beautiful Southwest Montana, and I absolutely love it. Whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, just give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, and I would be honored to help you find your place here in Southwest Montana. If you haven't seen my other videos yet on Southwest Montana, be sure to check those out because I go in depth on Bozeman, for instance, and Bozeman and Belgrade are very close together. And of course, I've also got a vlog tour of Belgrade. All right, so jumping into my computer here, you will see this is the main area of Belgrade, Montana. Not very far from Bozeman at all. Let's see here. If we zoom in a bit, you can see a little bit more of the town, and of course the airport is right here in Belgrade, so super easy access as far as that international airport is concerned. And then zooming out, you'll see it's just a short about a 10-minute drive down the interstate between Belgrade and Bozeman, of course depending on where in Bozeman you are looking to go. It could be a little bit further once you're off of the interstate, but really not far, a straight shot there. And then of course, just like Bozeman, you're going to have really easy access down to Big Sky Resort down here with Lone Peak. And then the other skiing area that I wanted to highlight here is just around the other side of the Bridger Mountains, Bridger Bowl. Absolutely phenomenal skiing right around here as well. Let's see here. So if we zoom back out, you can see, again, super easy access to Livingston and two different access points really that you can take to get to Yellowstone National Park. So you can go over to Livingston and head down towards Gardner, or you can head straight south through Gallatin Gateway, through Big Sky, and on to West Yellowstone. There we go. And of course, a lot of that same recreational access that Bozeman, of course, offers, being that Bozeman and Big Sky are so close to each other. You can either head out of town up here towards Three Forks and head west, or if you dip down here, you can hit the Madison Valley, and there's some great camping and lakes and everything down here towards Ennis as well. So, and a beautiful drive across here too. So same kind of proximity to things, and of course access as Bozeman, being that they are so close together. And of course, worth noting here is Big Sky's Lone Mountain at over 11,000 feet with Big Sky Resort. Absolutely spectacular skiing in addition to that Bridger Bowl that I mentioned. And of course, on that same note of recreation, there are, all of the different trails and different fun things going on here. If we go into satellite mode, you've got all these trailheads and canyons to the south of town, as well as out towards Bridger Bowl, like I mentioned before. Not just skiing, great hiking in the summer. Sacagawea Peak is also a popular one with the various lakes and waterfalls and everything around the area. All right, so switching our map back over here, of course, we've got Montana State University, like I mentioned, which is one of the largest employers in the area, as well as Bozeman Health. Let's see here, which is right over here on the east side of Bozeman. Now, they also have recently opened up a Belgrade Bozeman Health unit here urgent care clinic, Bozeman Health, Belgrade Clinic. At any rate, it is one of the larger employers in the Belgrade area specifically. So I figured that was worth noting. I wanted to also focus in on the airport. So the Bozeman Yellowstone International Airport has grown quite a lot in the last several years. They've gained a lot of direct flights, particularly in the winter for, destination skiers heading down to Big Sky, but also for Yellowstone National Park in the summer and the winter. So it's an absolutely growing airport, still not very large, still a very small airport, but it's gorgeous actually, and has some really, really cool views out here towards the Bridgers when you're taking off and landing and looking out that way. It's stunning. So I also wanted to point out Belgrade's proximity to Montana State University here in Bozeman. Of course, if you've got kids going to school and maybe you're looking for something a little bit more affordable place to live, Belgrade is a really nice option without being right downtown or right in Bozeman. You can get a little bit more house for your money over in Belgrade, and it is really not far. So as I said, many people are choosing Belgrade as a more affordable place to live over Bozeman, and a lot of people do live in Belgrade and commute to Bozeman for work. But there are more and more employment opportunities in the Belgrade area specifically, and Belgrade has grown itself quite a lot. It's kept its small town feel with a vibrant community and a growing downtown, still with awesome access to all that Bozeman also has to offer, as I said. The population in Belgrade is currently just over 10K. So you've got a growing community with that small town feel, and a little bit less of the city life for what it is here in Montana at the very least. So Belgrade is just a different kind of community than Bozeman is. It's, as I said, it is experiencing the same growth, if not maybe more growth, but they're making really conscious decisions about the growth, and a lot of different developments are happening currently. The area itself is deeply rooted in agricultural history and has a great small town charm. So it's not just about that affordability that brings people maybe to Belgrade as opposed to somewhere else in Montana. Switching over here to Satellite again, the downtown area is absolutely charming. It's got this phenomenal park called Lewis and Clark Park. You can see here that tiny little picture, of course, but there is a splash pad in the summer. It's a really big park right there in the heart of downtown. So it's a wonderful place to go. Summer, winter, doesn't matter. It is a fabulous place. And this park is also where a lot of community events are hosted, such as, the farmer's market and things like that. And of course, it has big trees, great shade, and like I said, right there in the heart of town. And the downtown itself is just charming. Older historic buildings, public library, schools and parks, all very close by. And of course, right down the road here, we have Madison River Brewing. Very well known, great beers, very laid back atmosphere. And really close by as well here is the donut shop called New Day Bakery, as well as a little market that has some fabulous goat cheeses that are actually farmed just out on this end of town. So it's absolutely a really cool little town with tons of character. I mentioned community events. There's a fall festival every year with a big parade on Main Street in September. There's a holiday festival of lights. And of course, as I said, the lovely farmers market that happens at that Lewis and Clark Park. And one of the local favorite events that happens here in Belgrade is right over here near the airport. Let me see if I can get zoomed into it. Gallatin Speedway. This is a dirt oval track where every Friday night and sometimes Saturday nights in the summer, big dirt track races go on. So we're talking street stock, super stock, modified cars, as well as sometimes they get sprints that come in, and it is an absolute blast. Total local favorite here, and just really close to Belgrade and some of the newer development neighborhoods that are right over here as well. So tons of fun there. Some other fabulous dining options. I mentioned the beer and, the goat cheese market there, but there's also some absolutely spectacular barbecue here at Bar 3, as well as some really amazing breakfast at the Rise and Shine Cafe and a nice bakery, the Mint Cafe and Bar, and the local American Saloon, which is a big favorite in the area here. People come from Bozeman to go to the local. It's fabulous. And then if you head down the road here just a little ways, the Gallatin River Lodge is an absolute gorgeous getaway here just off of the main road there. Fabulous brunches and dining, and there's a little tiny bit of lodging there as well. It's a really beautiful spot with the river not far away there. All right, back to Belgrade. Belgrade has 3 elementary schools, 1 middle school, and 1 high school, and those are the public schools. Of course, more public schools are definitely in Belgrade's near future. I want to highlight also now some of the main neighborhoods where the vlog tour goes through, as well as just some of the main areas where people like to live in Belgrade. So first and foremost, north of Belgrade, you're going to find Ryan Glen here, as well as the Meadowlark Ranch. So they are kind of, they're close by to one another. They're actually really close by to that Gallatin Speedway that I mentioned. And both of them are lovely neighborhoods. So you can get a feel here. This satellite image is older. Many of these homes are actually built at this point out here in Ryan Glen as well. So be sure to check out that vlog tour and you'll get a feel for those neighborhoods as well. All right, and then if we move over to the east side of Bozeman, you'll see, on either side, or north or south rather, of Main Street here that runs through town, lots of different great little neighborhoods. All of those are much closer to the schools, of course, with the Belgrade High School right here in the center of it all, and a lot more housing out here, lots more development happening as well. Of course, all of these neighborhoods, if we zoom out a little bit, you'll see, there's not a lot between them and these amazing Bridger Mountains over here. So all of these places in Belgrade tend to have really fabulous Bridger views, especially in those Ryan Glen and Meadowlark Ranch neighborhoods. You get into town a little bit more and it may or may not be obscured. But now if we head west of town a little bit, we're going to hit River Rock subdivision. River Rock tends to be a bit more affordable than some of the other areas in Belgrade or the Gallatin Valley overall, and has a ton to offer. So there's parks, there's a community pond here, there's a business park and a community center, and there's everything from condos right here to townhomes and single family homes as well. So again, check out that vlog tour and you'll get a feel for what it looks like driving around and get an idea of some prices there as well. And then if we head a little bit north of River Rock, also on the west side of town here, we will find ourselves in the Landmark subdivision. Bigger lots, everything is at least half an acre. Again, lovely parks and plenty of space to move around, bigger yards, that sort of thing. And of course, slightly higher price points as well. But again, really great views of the Bridgers and to the northeast there, and the mountains truly just all around. There's going to be mountain views in some direction out here, usually in the Gallatin Valley. And then if you want even more space and a little bit more of that, secluded sort of feel, we head a little bit further west up the interstate here to the 4 Dot Meadows subdivision. It's built around an old equestrian center within the subdivision, quiet country feel, but just a few miles down the interstate to Belgrade. And again, larger lots, bigger homes, generally a really nice area to be, with fabulous unobscured views straight over here towards the Bridger Mountains, as you can see. There's also several new developments happening around Belgrade, as I mentioned. Bridger Heights, Prescott Ranch, both of which are north of town. So those are going to be up and coming neighborhoods, brand new homes, a really great opportunity there if that's the type of thing you're looking for. All right, now I want to jump into the market report and some more statistics about, real estate in the Belgrade area. So the Bozeman area, this is Bozeman single family homes, median sales price right now is around $925,000. Now in some other videos, I've talked about a number that is lower than that. And the main thing there is when we're including condos and the like, and a bigger geographical area. So I'm just wanting to compare Bozeman and Belgrade here. The Belgrade median sales price, same kind of time frame or same time period, is $562,000. So you'll see lower price point in general. Days on market is going to be a little less because of that lower price point. And then we can also take a look at the median price per square foot. Belgrade is sitting at $288. Bozeman closer to almost $400 per square foot. So you get the idea there. Belgrade is just a more affordable area, but you can see over the past 10 years, tons of appreciation. Yes, things are quieting or slowing down just a little bit right now, but this overall trend is expected to continue for sure. And then just a few other statistics right now. I mentioned the 17 days on market. Right now, there's about 58 single family homes. That is a little bit higher than it was this time last year. The median sold, the price per square foot is tiny bit lower than it was last year, but we're not seeing a huge change, at least at this point. I wanted to touch on a few things as well that Belgrade is well known for. Fairly highly rated schools. This is according to niche.com. You can certainly go check that out as well if you're interested, in comparing it to some of the nearby areas here. And it's a highly ranked area for young professionals, as well as, an overall place to live in Montana right here. All right, in one of the neighborhoods that we actually just talked about, this particular home is right in the Ryan Glen subdivision. So you can get a feel here for what that home looks like. And it has a lovely little backyard, nice looking kitchen, nothing that stands out to me that looks like it would need work done or anything like that. All right, let's see here. This one is a 5-bed, 4-bath, 2,800 square foot home built in 2015. So you'll see a lot of new construction in the Belgrade area in general. In fact, this one right here is in that newer Prescott Ranch that I mentioned as well. That is, a very new development. This one is built this year, 3-bed, 3-bath, 2,800 square feet. Really nice looking brand new home there, if that's something that might interest you as well. And then of course, we can head over here to that River Rock neighborhood that I mentioned, where it's a little bit more affordable. This is a 3-bed, 3-bath home at 1,700 square feet, built in 2004. A little bit older style, not historic by any means, but it is definitely a little older than some of the other homes that we were just looking at, of course. Nice little gas fireplace. Could maybe use some updates there. I can see in the kitchen and whatnot, maybe in the bathroom as well. So something that, you could bring a lot of value to this one if you were looking to do something like that also. So overall, that should give you a really good feel of the general area here in Belgrade, Montana. Really kind of depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking to be near downtown, or if you're looking to have a little bit more space, where you might want to be. And of course, if you're looking for even more space, there are some other communities just down the highway a little bit further, including Manhattan and Three Forks, that I am going to be covering in future videos. So keep an eye out for those. Of course, like I mentioned before, something definitely to keep in mind for this area of Southwest Montana, and really truly the whole state of Montana, is winter. We do experience quite a bit of cold and snow that can begin as early November and last into May at times. Different years are a little bit different, but it's definitely worth taking into consideration if you're thinking about moving here from a place that doesn't have that. A good all-wheel drive vehicle and some good winter tires are going to make all the difference in the world. So keep that in mind if that is something that might be a concern for you. So it really is a wonderful area, and you can find some really lovely homes at a more affordable price than you can find in Bozeman, and just a short drive away, just a straight shot down the interstate there. And a lot of people choose Bel-Air Belgrade for that reason and commute, and some people choose Belgrade for that small town community feel. So in the meantime, if you want to check it out some more, be sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, and I would be honored to help you find your place here in Southwest Montana. Until next time, I hope to see you around town.